Have you ever wondered why your legs feel heavy, swollen, and worn out by late afternoon once you pass 60? It's easy to write this off as just another part of getting older, something you have to accept, like graying hair or stiffer mornings. But there's something many older patients are surprised to learn once a surgeon explains it plainly. Often, the root cause isn't your heart, and it isn't your arteries either. It's a small set of muscles in your lower legs that have gradually gone quiet. For years, a simple idea has been taught in vascular medicine. Your calf muscles act as a kind of second pump for your legs. Each time they flex, they help push blood back toward your heart. When these muscles weaken, blood tends to collect around the ankles and lower legs, which is exactly why swelling, aching, and that heavy feeling so often show up together. Researchers have found that simply activating the calf muscles in a targeted way can noticeably improve blood flow within just a few weeks, without intense workouts. Just a handful of very basic movements, the kind that look too easy to matter. To be clear, this isn't a knock against walking. Walking remains great for your overall health. But on its own, it doesn't always activate these specific muscles the way they need, especially after 60. That's part of why a short, gentle routine, just a few minutes a day, is often quietly recommended to support circulation and ease everyday discomfort. In this video, I'll walk you through that routine, starting gently and safely, just as it's often introduced to older adults. Stick around, and you'll see why these few simple movements can leave your legs feeling lighter and more comfortable. No equipment, no strain required. Before we get started, if you haven't subscribed already, consider hitting that button and turning on notifications so you don't miss future health tips made with you in mind. If you find this video helpful, drop a 1 in the comments, and if not, a 0 so we know how to improve. Before we get into the routine itself, I want to clear up something that trips up almost everyone watching this. Most people assume that if their legs feel heavy or swollen, the solution is to rest them more, to put your feet up, sit back, and let them recover. It feels logical. Your legs are tired, so give them a break, right? Here's the problem. Resting more is often exactly what got you here in the first place. The muscles in your lower legs are designed to be used in small, repeated bursts throughout the day. When they go too long without activity, that's when fluid starts to settle, and that's when the heaviness creeps in. So the goal of everything you're about to see isn't to exercise in the way you might be picturing. It's to gently remind these muscles that they still have a job to do, a few times a day, in small doses, without ever pushing into discomfort. Keep that in mind as we go through each movement, because by the end of this video, exercise number 1 is going to bring this whole idea together in a way that I think will genuinely surprise you. So even if exercise 5 looks too simple to matter, stay with me. It's setting up everything that comes after it. Exercise 5. Gentle seated calf activation. This is often the first movement recommended when an older adult mentions heavy legs, swollen ankles, or that end-of-day tiredness. It looks almost too simple to matter, which is exactly why most people overlook it. But it targets a muscle group that plays a major role in circulation after 60. You'll do this seated, feet flat on the floor. No standing, no balance demands, no pressure on the knees or hips. Gently raise your heels while keeping the balls of your feet planted, then lower them back down. This causes the calf muscles to tighten and release in a controlled rhythm, which helps push blood upward against gravity. When calf muscles go underused, blood can settle in the lower legs, contributing to swelling, pressure, and that familiar end-of-day heaviness. Reactivating them helps keep things moving during long stretches of sitting, watching TV, reading, or riding in a car. How to do it? Sit upright with both feet flat on the floor, hip-width apart. Slowly raise your heels as high as feels comfortable, toes staying down. Hold briefly, then lower with control. Move slowly and breathe naturally. If you feel any cramping, ease off the height or take a short break. The most common mistake is rushing. Speed isn't the goal. Slow, controlled reps do far more for circulation than fast bouncing. Holding your breath is another one to avoid, since it can leave you feeling lightheaded. This can be done daily, even multiple times a day without fatigue. Many people notice their legs feel lighter within a few weeks. It's also the foundation for everything that follows. Once these muscles wake up, the next movement builds on that. Quick thing before we move on, if you're actually doing this along with me right now, type "going" in the comments. I genuinely want to know how many of you are following along in real time, versus saving this for later.
A quick pause. Try this right now. Here's something a little different. Wherever you're sitting right now, I want you to do something for me. Take both feet, place them flat on the floor, and just notice. Are your feet cold? Do your ankles feel a little tight or puffy compared to your wrists? A lot of people watching this right now are going to notice that, yes, actually, their feet do feel a bit cold, or their ankles do feel a little tight. That's not a coincidence, and it's not something to be alarmed about either. It's simply your circulation telling you it's been a while since these muscles were asked to do anything. Keep that little observation in the back of your mind. By the time we get to exercise 1, I want you to do that same check again. Feet, ankles, temperature, and see if anything feels different. Some people notice a change in as little as 10 minutes. Let's keep going. Exercise 4. Supported ankle-to-knee flow. Next, we bring the ankles and knees into the picture. This gentle seated movement helps blood move more freely through the joints just above the calves, something that matters a lot for circulation as we age. Still seated, feet flat on the floor. One leg at a time, slide your foot back toward the chair, bending the knee, then slide it forward again until the leg nearly straightens. Think of it as guiding the joint rather than working it. Slow, smooth, controlled. As the knee bends and extends, the surrounding muscles softly contract and relax, keeping blood moving upward. Many older adults spend long stretches with their knees barely moving, especially while seated, and that lack of motion can contribute to stiffness and swelling below the joint. Restoring this gentle bend and straighten pattern helps prevent fluid from settling in the lower legs. How to do it? Sit upright, hands resting on the sides of the chair for support. Slide one foot back, bending the knee as far as feels comfortable. Pause, then slide it forward again. Switch legs and repeat. Breathe normally and keep it smooth. If your knee feels uncomfortable, shrink the range of motion. The main thing to avoid is pushing the knee too far or moving too fast. This should feel soothing, like oiling a hinge, not testing its limits. This builds directly on the calf work from the last exercise and sets you up for the standing movements that come next. Now here's something interesting. A lot of people assume that knee stiffness and circulation are two completely separate issues. One's a joint problem, the other's a blood flow problem. But notice how this exercise addresses both at the same time. That's actually the whole idea behind this routine, and it's why exercise 3, which is coming up, is going to feel like a natural next step rather than something brand new.
Exercise 3. Supported standing weight shift. Now we introduce standing, but in a fully controlled way, with no pressure on balance or strength. Stand behind a sturdy chair or near a counter, hands resting lightly on the support, feet hip-width apart. Slowly shift your weight onto one leg, then back to center, then toward the other leg. Subtle and calm. You're not lifting your feet or testing how long you can balance. You're simply teaching your legs and hips to share the load smoothly. This matters because every step, turn, or change in stance requires shifting weight from one leg to the other. When that process becomes hesitant or uneven, circulation can slow and stiffness becomes more likely, especially after long periods of sitting. How to do it? Stand tall, chest relaxed, eyes forward. Shift your weight slightly right. Feel the pressure through that foot, then return to center. Shift left, return again. Slow and steady, breathing naturally. If you feel unsteady, make smaller shifts or lean more on your hands. Avoid locking your knees or leaning your upper body too far. Picture your weight moving like a slow, predictable pendulum. The goal is quiet control, not range or speed. With your calves, ankles, and knees now warmed up, this step gets your legs ready to bear weight more dynamically, which is exactly what the next movement asks of them. If you're someone who's a little nervous about standing exercises because of balance, I want to pause here for a second. This one is designed specifically with that in mind. Your hands stay on the support the entire time. If you've been holding off on trying movements like this because of a fall or a balance scare in the past, this is about as gentle an entry point as you'll find. Let me know in the comments if that's you. You're definitely not the only one. Exercise 2. Chair-assisted, sit to stand. This one mirrors something you do dozens of times a day, standing up from a chair, but with deliberate control, which is what makes it so valuable for both strength and circulation after 60. Start seated, feet flat on the floor, slightly behind your knees. Lean forward just enough to bring your weight over your feet, then rise slowly to standing. Pause briefly. Then lower yourself back down with the same calm control. Hands can rest on the armrests or thighs if you need extra support. Each time you do this, the large muscles in your thighs, hips, and calves contract together. A coordinated effort that's powerful for circulation because it pushes blood upward through the legs while also building real strength. When this becomes difficult, people tend to avoid it, which can make both weakness and circulation issues worse over time. How to do it? Start with just a few reps. Rise slowly, taking about 3 seconds, then sit back down even more slowly. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath. If your knees feel uncomfortable, reduce the depth or lean more on your hands until strength improves. The biggest mistake is dropping quickly back into the chair, which cancels out much of the benefit. Moving slowly keeps the muscles engaged longer. This exercise pulls together everything from the previous 3 and sets the stage for the final movement where it all comes together. A short story before we continue. I want to share something quickly because I think it puts all of this into perspective. Picture someone in their late 60s who used to take a short evening walk around the block every day. Over time, their legs started feeling heavier by the end of the day, so the walks got shorter, then less frequent, then stopped altogether. Naturally, the heaviness got worse, not better, because the muscles that were supposed to be helping with circulation were now getting even less activity than before. This is an extremely common pattern. The body sends a signal, heaviness, tiredness, and the natural response is to do less. But less activity often makes the underlying issue worse, creating a cycle that quietly continues for months or even years. The reason I'm telling you this now is because exercise 1, the one we're about to get into, is specifically designed to interrupt that exact cycle. It doesn't ask you to push through anything. It just asks your legs to remember how to work as a team again. And for a lot of people, that one shift is enough to start turning things around. Exercise 1, controlled heel to stand flow. This is the one many clinicians quietly consider the most valuable for leg circulation after 60, not because it's hard, but because it combines everything: calf activation, weight transfer, and standing strength, all in one smooth motion. Start standing, hands lightly resting on a chair or counter for safety, feet hip-width apart. Slowly lift your heels just a little. Feel the calves engage, then lower them back down. From there, bend your knees slightly and straighten again, as if beginning to sit, but choosing to stand tall instead. One smooth flow. Heel lift, gentle bend and stand, back to a relaxed position. Every time you rise from a chair, step forward or adjust your stance. Your calves, thighs, and hips need to work together. This coordinated action helps push blood upward through the legs while reinforcing the strength that keeps you independent. A lot of circulation problems get worse simply because these muscles stop working as a team. How to do it? Stand tall and relaxed. Lift your heels slowly. Pause, then lower them. Bend your knees slightly, then straighten. Smooth and unhurried, breathing naturally. Start small and only increase the range if it feels comfortable. If you feel unsteady, lean more on your hands or reduce the bend. Avoid rushing or turning this into a squat. It's not about effort, it's about steady, repeatable movement your body recognizes. Now, remember that quick check I asked you to do earlier? Feet, ankles, temperature? Go ahead and check again. You might notice your feet feel a little warmer or your ankles feel slightly less tight. Not everyone notices a change this quickly, and that's completely normal too. But if you do feel something different, that's your circulation responding in real time. And that's exactly the kind of response this routine is designed to build on, day after day. If you only add one thing to your routine after 60, this is the movement most often recommended. It's the one that ties the whole sequence together. Bonus: seated ankle circle flow. One more. For the days you really don't feel like standing at all, this is the seated ankle circle flow, and it's exactly as gentle as it sounds. Do it first thing in the morning before getting out of bed, or any time after sitting for a while. Your ankles are the lowest major joints in your body, and when they stay still too long, blood and fluid have a harder time moving back up through the legs. Even small controlled ankle movements help stimulate circulation in the feet and lower legs, right where pooling tends to start. Sit comfortably with both feet lifted slightly off the floor. Slowly rotate one foot in a wide, smooth circle. Several rotations one way, then reverse. Switch feet and repeat. slow and deliberate, like drawing with your toes. Breathe normally throughout. How to do it. Lift one foot, rotate the ankle in a full circle, 5 times clockwise, 5 times counterclockwise, then switch feet. That's one set. Repeat 2 or 3 times a day. No fatigue involved. Keep the circles big and slow rather than small and fast, and keep your shoulders relaxed rather than tensed up. This is especially handy on long car rides, flights, or anywhere getting up isn't an option. A quiet, low-key way to keep taking care of your legs. A lot of people tell us this becomes the one they end up doing the most, simply because it fits into moments where nothing else would. Putting it all together. So let's quickly recap what we just covered, because I think seeing it laid out together makes it click. We started with the calves, the engine room of circulation in your lower legs. Then we moved to the ankles and knees, restoring the kind of joint motion that keeps fluid from settling. From there, we introduced standing through a supported weight shift, teaching your legs to share the load with confidence. Then came the sit to stand, which brings real strength into the picture using a movement you already do every day. And finally, the heel to stand flow tied all of that together into one continuous motion, the one piece that, on its own, captures the benefit of everything before it. None of these movements are about intensity. None of them require equipment, a gym, or even leaving your chair for most of the routine. What they have in common is that they all send your legs a clear, repeated signal. You're still being used, so keep doing your job.
What you've just seen is a short routine, not a workout, not a quick fix, just a handful of gentle movements that, done consistently, help your legs do what they're meant to do. Each step builds on the last, the way the body prefers. Done consistently, many people notice their legs feel lighter, less tight, and more reliable. Standing gets easier, sitting for long periods feels less uncomfortable, and walking feels more confident. Not because you forced anything, but because you reminded your body how to work as a whole. The payoff goes beyond comfort. Supporting your circulation helps protect your balance, reduces the fear of falling, and helps preserve your independence. The ability to stay active at home, spend time with family, and move through your day without your legs holding you back. Getting older doesn't mean giving up control. It means choosing movements that respect where your body is today, while still encouraging it to adapt. I'd love to hear from you. Which part of leg discomfort affects you most right now? Heaviness, swelling, or fatigue? Leave a comment with your age and where you're watching from. If you enjoyed this video, comment with a 1. If not, a 0 works too. And if you tried the before and after check during exercise 1, I'd genuinely love to know if you felt a difference. That kind of feedback helps us make even better videos for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Here's to living life on your own terms.